Good morning and welcome to Quintopia. Today we will be taking a look at a couple of models of my BB 26000 electric locomotives. These are locomotives produced by Piko, a brand that has been around for a long time. But now they're kind of back, and they're back in N scale. They've been doing a lot of G scale for quite a while, and today we'll be taking a look at two of their N scale production locomotives, these BB 26000s from the SNCF, which is obviously France. And I have two versions, as you can see in front of you. I have the orange version, which is actually I believe it's called sometimes it's called the TGV scheme or the orange TGV scheme, but it's quite striking and looks pretty cool, and they look great in real life, and they really look great next to the orange TGV itself. It's really quite striking. This orange one is Piko model number 94136, and I also have the same locomotive in a more modern paint scheme, the red, silver, and gray multi-services paint scheme, and this model number is 94133. So let's take a look at both of these, and well, let's at least take a look at one. We'll take a look at the orange one, because they're both fairly identical other than the cosmetics. So opening it up, again, as with one of the great things of N scale are the fantastic cases we get, no cardboard boxes to disintegrate and wear down. I've had this one for quite a while, so I have lost the original plastic insert that protects the locomotive in here, but as you can see, that's I guess it's necessary, but not required. There it is, very simply to remove it. There's nice little recesses there for your thumbs, and here it is. Really well done, nice weight, good detail. All around, it's just a really fantastic looking locomotive. For example, look at these, look at the grab irons on the sides here where the doors go. Really nicely done and highlighted with a little bit of paint, and it looks like something that was separately applied. And again, another example of just the fine quality work being done in this very small gauge these days. So hats off to Piko for doing a fantastic job bringing this one to N gauge. So here we have the Piko BB 26000. As I mentioned earlier, the exterior and the detailing is really exceptional. Let's take a look at the inside and see what's in store for us there. This locomotive does have a, I believe it's a 5-pole motor, bidirectional headlights, and it does have an NEM 651 interface, so you can add in your decoder fairly simply. Now this one is going to be a little bit different than what we're typically used to, so it's a little bit of a trick to open this one up. First thing you got to do is remove this little ventilation cover. See that? That comes off. Let's set that aside. And I'm going to set it down. And I'm not sure if you can see it here on the video, but there is a little screw right here that needs to be taken out. Yes, this is very different than what we're used to. Usually we just pull the sides out, so that's the screw out. Now we can remove the body from the chassis. And I'm just going to do the standard slide the fingernails under the body, give it a little bit of a tug, and that's it. Comes off fairly simply after you get that screw out. So as you can tell, the NEM 651 decoder is right here, and then you got the circuit board. The nice thing about what they're doing these days with LED lights is can't really see that very well, it's out of focus. They're putting a little light board in here which has the SMD LEDs on it, which really makes a nice effect. As you can tell, I've actually already put a DCC decoder in here, so this thing is ready to run. But when you get yours, it's going to come likely with a dummy plug, which I'll remove. I believe I put it back here. Well, I guess not. I thought I put it back in the box with all the original instructions, but it's not there. I do have another container where I put those dummy plugs. I saw a question once on one of the message boards on Yahoo. Somebody asked a question about when you add these 6-pin decoders in and they have the extra blue line, do you need to do anything with it? I've never run into a situation where you need to. You just take out the dummy plug, insert your new decoder, and you're good to go. Sound check for the Sybic, which actually stands for Synchronous Bicurrent. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's where it gets its nickname Sybic from, or Sybic. Not the quietest locomotive, but certainly not overly loud. At least the sound is good and constant, not a pulsing sound like some of the older motors are. And now it's time for the report card. How does this locomotive compare? How does it stack up on the various factors that I like to evaluate trains on? First of all, in terms of appearance, excellent printing, great cast-in details with the grab irons picked out with some paint, the colored little electrical devices on the roof here. I'm going to have to give that a really high score. It's a 5. Really not sure in terms of N-gauge if you can do much more realistically. In terms of performance, it's a great runner. It's quiet, solid performance from me. Another 5. Conversion, very simple, no problems with the NEM 651 interface. I'm going to give it another 5. In terms of cost, it's not cheap, it's not crazy expensive. I'm going to have to give it a 4. In terms of X Factor, I don't know if there's anything special about this. I do think it's great that Piko is back in the N-gauge world, and they're not just producing G-gauge and HO gauge stuff, but they're back in N-gauge. So I'm just going to kind of throw in a, I don't know, I'll throw in a 5. I think it's great to have more manufacturers, more competition, and more diversity in this scale. It's fantastic. So a total score of 24 divided by 5, well, it's pretty high. It's like 4.8 or something, so almost a near perfect score on this one from me. Really nicely done. The locomotive is available in several different liveries. If the orange is in your cup of tea, they have the multi-services, they have the En Voyage version, and just really have done a nice job of producing this unusual locomotive from France. I hope you enjoyed this report. Please feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, or corrections to my review. Please feel free to share what information you know about this that I don't know, and others maybe watching this don't know as well. Thank you so much for watching, and happy railroading.